Oh my god, I have not slept for like, I don't know, it's been a long time. UK election's been on, so naturally I've been watching it because I'm interested in all that. It kind of has impacts on what I do and who I am and how much flippant tax we pay. So I haven't slept for about 2 days. And you're now hearing this wonderful video as I shoot this dropship down, or try to. You're hearing this from my mouth of having recently just slept. So anyway, that's the introduction for you. So if I start weirdly droning on and talking about Murray polls and stuff like that, then I'm not talking about sensible things, and I got shot by a flipping thing. Well, let's talk about that. We're going to talk today about player trading. I did a bit of it. Not much, admittedly, but there's a player trading channel now. I think, I can't remember what it's called. I think I'd have to look. I'd have to refer to my notes to remember what the flipping thing's called. But someone will, I'm sure, type it in the comments. But I sat in there, and it's interesting. It's nice. Few kind of complaints first. Let's get the negative out of the way before we God, I can't even talk. The one thing I really like about it, or rather the don't like about it, is the fact that you kind of have to have a system of trust. So if you say want to buy, 200 kubos, please, it then requires that they send it to you, and then you send the money to them, or vice versa. So, I want to sell this. Okay, they send you the money. Then it's kind of hopeful that you actually get the suit. There's no trade window. I thought there'd be a trade window, but in the tradition of CCP development, that was just, I guess, a little bit too far, a little bit too much of a problem, etc., which is fair enough. I know, it's fair enough. Seriously, it's fair enough. I like the fact that this is kind of mini game of are you a scammer or not. I think that's very good. I also like the little mini game of I'm Gordon GEKKO with my red braces and I'm going to corner the market. Mwah! And that just makes me smile, like some dude in somebody's parents' basement is sat there on like 500,000 Balak suits or whatever, and they're just sat there rubbing their hands in glee. They're going to corner the market, etc. And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, go and try and do this in IRL for your own benefit, not for space bucks. Anyway, that's my introductory statement. I love it. I think it's great. I think it really is a wonderful way forward. Should have been in a long time ago, I guess, really, if they were going to do it in such a simple way, which is I give you this, you give me that, then makes perfect sense, because the give money thing's always been there, so that's not new. Well, all it is it just gives the ability to pass an item from your box to their box, or rather, asset to asset, which is very simple, and I like it. And I also think the fact that there is this kind of potential to be scammed is lovely, so I liked it a lot. And it obviously means that if you so wish, you can sell me your kubos and your solar flaylocks. So there you go. Sell them to me, dude. Come on, sell them. I'm kidding. I did try using them. The twin bore Kubos plasma cannon. I like it. It's good, but I've got to admit, I think I'm just so trained in using the single shot, then switching to the flaylock. I found it a bit difficult to fire two, but it's a small point. But I like it. I think it's kind of a way that I think it's increased the game a lot. Let me explain, because there's now huge amounts of people using Officer, which is nice. Nobody really used Officer before because it was such a kind of special snowflake thing that you never could guarantee you'd ever have again, really. Now you can just have a crap ton of money and you can go and buy your seats. So I think it's cool. I've seen a lot of people running Officer everything, and it's frustrating as hell, don't get me wrong, because Officer gear is so flipping good, but I like it. I think it makes wonderful sense. So there we go. So I think if you're not player trading, then give it a go. You can make some good money. Just be careful of what the indices are telling you. What do I mean by that? Well, the value of something is always in the eye of the beholder. So if you really want something, you're going to pay a lot of money for it, i.e. buying a house. Whereas in this game, because there is no kind of RRP, recommended retail price, you should just go with what you're comfortable with. An example here maybe would be that some people have been paying like 20 million for an officer suit. Well, that could well represent the value of it. I would suspect it never would, because the reality is that because there is going to be this constant supply of them, that there'll be an initial peak and then drop, and then it would just be a leveled out, you know, 500,000 for this gun. It seems to be what they're generally is kind of leveling out to, which again may even drop some more, I don't know. But yeah, there must be people out there who have got, you know, 500 items of certain officer guns, and they're just, you know, they're going to make as much money as they can. But then again, what are you going to spend the money on? this is kind of the irony of it, because it's kind of like a ship in a bottle economy. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about there, Google it. And basically that's just where there is a, you know, a healthy economy based upon only a few items. There is a really small set of things to buy, and plus when there is a perfect economy, as in everything costs the same for like all the basic stuff, the normal stuff and prototype, etc., then, you know, there's no trading there at all. So to me it's kind of an interesting one, because you can see a lot of people obviously want to make trading a little kind of empire of theirs, and that is awesome. If that keeps people playing, more than happy. The only problem with it, and again there is a problem, is that again we're seeing player counts of, you know, averaging about 1,800 at peak. Does that make sense? No. Averaging, I think it's averaging about 1,500 or something like that, and peak of about 1.8 to 2k. But now with the trading thing, I suspect an awful lot of players are actually not playing rounds. Evidenced by the fact that I've not yet played, I think even this round is case in point, I've not yet played a 16v16 in months. Literally months. I mean, I can't believe the luck I've got, but it does appear when I talk to the brosefs that also seems to be what they're experiencing. So definitely something not quite right. I think a few knobs need to be twiddled to to sort out matchmaking still. It still doesn't feel like they've got that tickety boo. But anyway, post and comments, tell me, do you have your matches still not full? Do you find maybe that again it's giving you irregular gangs? A good example here is I find often that sometimes you'll get into the reason I'm showing this one is because this was an exactly, you know, equal match, at least at the start it was. They gave up at this point because they didn't want to lose their precious hairdos. And then it just descended into tanks coming at his bra. So I think that was what happened here. But certainly for the first 5 minutes, it was an incredibly even match. You know, very difficult to be a push and throw, if that makes any sense, at the point. And it was really nice. These are the kind of games that I remember we always used to get. I don't know. I think it is weird why that changed. I don't quite know why it did. Is it because certain groups got better at the game? Well, highly suspect not. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think that definitely something changed maybe about a year ago, and the game just all of a sudden was, I don't know, maybe it just lost a critical group of players, or maybe it just lost a lot of casual players or something. I don't know, but that was certainly when matchmaking kind of worked, and then all of a sudden didn't. And yeah, I don't understand that. But anyway, there we go. I don't, you know, who knows? Who honestly flipping knows? I think generally Dust is in a better place than it was a few months ago. The player trading is a great way to get people to play again. You know, it is nice running officer gear. I tried it once on, I think it was a Dom, and I had a good time. I did have a very good time, but you know, I think the problem for me is just you know, I always run this same fit. I am going to change it. I know a lot of people are getting a bit bored. No, you're getting bored. How dare you? Of plasma and flintlock. So no, don't worry. So am I. We're going to try something different. The jump thing as well is fascinating fun, but I suspect I'm probably one of the last people doing it, because it's not really actually that needed when you think about it. So I would suspect that very soon we'll change our fit. We tried the new game mode. Again, it's fun, but yeah, every time we play it, it kind of is a match that's done within the first minute. Whoever captures the point first generally gets the second capture as well. So, you know, that's not good. That's really not good. And I thought about this, you know, and a nice way to maybe sort of beef that mode up a bit, as I said in previous video, would be, you know, 2 minutes capture. That'd be quite nice. But also maybe give a good identification to the team that doesn't hold the point of where it's going to move to, so they get a bit of an advantage there. If you could just make it so that it was more of a challenge, that would make a lot of sense. But I suspect not. Also, I would put the points on top of very high buildings, so you have to fly a dropship up there or use jumpy gits like me. I mean, these are just small things. I don't know really how, you know, possible and how maybe game breaking it might be. You could have a whole team of people that have never flown a dropship, so therefore they can't ever get to the high point. Well, no, that's just my opinion of that would be, that's a pity for you, brah. But there we go. You know, I think if this is the way it's going to be, this is the way it's going to be. And, you know, when you can kind of see this is how the games go even in domination. I mean, look, you know, we had a great battle for, what, 6 minutes? And then it just now becomes some tanks just going round and round, opportunity killing, running away as soon as they take any damage. You've got a few interesting dropship fights going on, but again, running the hell away as soon as they take a single hit. And that's right, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's not right, but, you know, it just gets, ugh. I mean, look at this, you know, sort of standoffish and slightly boring, if I'm honest. But I think, you know, I do miss the old kind of real tussles we used to get. And we still get them from time to time. I would say probably once every 2 weeks. We have a single match, which is down to the wire, against really good players, but it's all equal. So we're not getting stomped or we're not stomping them. And I don't know, I think the game really needs that back, because at the moment, when the game becomes a walkover, and officer gear makes this slightly the problem as well, because when you've got too much officer gear in, you could have one group of players who are so powerful and another group who, you know, who just aren't. And I think that also will mean a very boring match. So post in the comments, tell me how boring your matches are. Are they good? Do you get like a good mix of fights? You know, tell me how maybe it goes for you. I think just a quick comment before the video ends on what's going on, I think, in terms of this game, and also in terms of maybe our coverage of it, because I get asked a lot, rather cheekily, by quite a few people now, what are you still doing Dust videos for? Seriously, bro, what are you doing that for? Oh, and you know, I do want to give my just extended commitment that I do enjoy this game. I have a blast. I do log on sometimes and play and just think, oh wow, that was a terrible round. That was horrible because of this reason and that reason. Sometimes if you just have a game and you lose, and it was because just generally the team was better than you, I'm more than fine with that. That actually still, to me, you know, contributes as a good game. What I don't like is, I think, just the inability to fill the match with players. That really bothers me. I think also just the fact that there's a huge, and just proved by Stefan getting sniped there, there's a huge number of people who just, you know, they feed the monkey. Which sounds ruder, it's a metaphor, but let me explain it, and it's nothing to do with self-harm. What they effectively do is they log in and they play the game to kind of just assuage a need. So we get a lot of people, and the reason you can sort of see this is a load of really kind of good players you just see at the back of the map sniping, and it's odd. To me, that's quite odd. I don't know why they do that. I could see that certainly you could log in and just think, well, I'll snipe today. I mean, I'm a bit tired, or, you know, I'm having a conversation with the enemy. I just fancy like sniping. Okay, fair enough. But when you see them do it like 5 matches in a row, you know, I just think to myself, well, that's kind of odd. And I think that just to me says that they've kind of lost. They've lost a bit of something, and they're just feeding the monkey, as I would call it, where they're just, yeah, they're getting their kind of addiction fulfilled, but they're not really enjoying anything. There we go. Post in comments if you absolutely disagree or agree with that, because I think there is a lot of players who are just doing that. You know, they're logging on to the system maybe just to get their daily whatever. They're maybe playing one game to unlock a can, and then that's kind of it, and then they switch off. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that is a shame. There needs to be something in here that makes them play again, and I don't know what it is. Maybe drones. Maybe the only thing that can save us now is a drone in a Superman suit. I don't know. It feels like it needs something like that. The new game mode was a nice addition, but I've got to admit, I don't like it. I just think it's crap. I don't want to play it either. You know, I mean, that's the thing to bear in mind. I don't want to just go into a match and know that we'll be taking the point and nobody will come at us, which seems to be the case almost 10 times now we've done that. So there's definitely something not quite right, but the game is feeling very good. So come play it. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.